Hey guys, Psychoculture's Anarchy with the final part of my Daredevil Season 1 review. Season 2 is going to be coming soon. I just got to finish watching it. The first 8 episodes, mind-blowing. Like, wow. Just wow. So anyway, where we left off, we specifically talked about the characters. Let's now talk about some of our favorite moments, as well as the parallels, and a lot of other, like, one-off things that we didn't mention. Now, for starters, the interactions. The character chemistry and relationships truly made this show really something incredible. Especially because when you compared Matt Murdock with Wilson Fisk, at the start, you see that Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk are a lot alike. You could see so many parallels in this. It's just that these guys went down different paths. In retrospect, when I really look at it, either of these two guys could have actually become something much different they already have. Like, you could have actually reversed the roles. Either one of these groups, these people, could have taken on the role of the good guys or the bad guys. But again, like Ben Urich said, there's no such thing as good guys or bad guys. There's people with agendas. That's a great quote that's stuck throughout this season, because it really did show that there's not everybody is after the right thing or the wrong thing. They're just after what they believe in, what they believe is right. And eventually we do see that Wilson, he's a freaking maniac. He's crazy. He wants to kill people. He wants to get New York under his control, like every villain does in any movie. They always seem to want to control New York or something, or the world. If it's not New York, we control the world, because it's generic trope. But what are you gonna do? But I love how Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk were heavily influenced by their fathers. Where Wilson Fisk's father was abusive, he never treated him like a man, he always treated him like just a little piece of crap, like he's like, forces him to drink alcohol, he's always yelling and like criminalizing his wife, and he's making his son feel like shit. Matt Murdock's father really emphasized the fact that he didn't want his son to be like him. He really wanted his son to be like a lawyer, like my dad. And it's just so interesting to see how the fathers affect the way they view the world, the way they become. And then there's also their friends, like their right-hand man, where Matt Murdock has Foggy Nelson, Wilson Fisk has Wesley. Well, I called him Smith for some reason, but because he reminded me of freaking Smith from Matrix, which was stupidly weird, but Smith, see, I'm still calling him that. Where Wesley was the right-hand man of Kingpin, Foggy was the right-hand man partner of Matt Murdock, and Vanessa was a driving influence, a heavy influence on Kingpin, while Karen Page actually took her own initiative, where it just really shows that these guys are a lot alike as they are different. And one of the most other fascinating things is the constant moral conflict that goes through Matt Murdock. I'm just repeating stuff from my previous videos, but it's always, that's what I like. It shows consistency with their episodes. It shows that this is what they're dealing with. We're dealing with the build-up to facing Kingpin and all that stuff, and it just shows through the moral corruption, the system corruption, society corruption, all that crap. It's all very real stuff that we could go through, and that is one of the most highlights of Season 1 overall. That's actually something I'll be talking about in my Season 2 review with Yamrez, if he finishes watching it before I do, is like how different these seasons are from one another. We'll find that out in the next review. But overall, I really just cannot think of a bad thing to say about this. One major thing, though. As the seasons go, like as the episodes go on, I think the only main thing is I think the final episode, it wasn't as strong as all the other episodes, because all the episodes were just like one holy shit after another, one amazing performance after another. Just like there's really nothing wrong with it except for I think the payoff. The suit, I actually liked it, but it could have been better, which they do make it better. That's the good thing about it. But in general, there's a lot that just was so perfect in Season 1, and I personally love Season 2 just as much. And once I finish watching it, I'll compare which season was better, because Season 1 and 2, it's like comparing Season 1 and 2 of The Flash. There's a lot of things to compare here and contrast and all that crap, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Overall, Daredevil Season 1 is a triumph from Marvel. It's their first Netflix show. We got Jessica Jones from it. Soon we're going to get Luke Cage later on this year. We're also going to get Iron Fist and the Defenders. And I honestly am just so happy with what Netflix is doing with Marvel right now. But here's one concern that has come up. We're reaching this point in Marvel now where we're getting a bunch of these heroes in all corners of the Marvel universe, because this is all connected. And I remember earlier last year they said that, you know, Marvel's movie universe and Marvel's Netflix universe is going to remain separate entities overall. That is going to be actually a kind of a serious problem, because now that Marvel has finally gotten the rights to Spider-Man to an extent, you honest to God cannot have Spider-Man, who is a Manhattan-based hero, not run into Luke Cage or Daredevil or Iron Fist or Jessica Jones at one point in time. You just can't, because it just doesn't make sense. Because even in all the comics, like, you know, he eventually ran into everybody. He ran into all these heroes at one point in time. And now that Marvel has the rights to them back, like, they can do crossovers, but that is actually a serious thing they should consider, because you cannot have that. If it's a connected universe, like, when you really think about it, Spider-Man is the key thing that could connect the Netflix universe to the main Marvel Cinematic Universe, where we could actually see Daredevil and Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and any other Netflix street-level heroes eventually interact with these big league guys. Because Spider-Man, though he always does big league stuff, he always makes sure to look out for the little guy on all corners. It's like Spider-Man is a well-rounded hero on all corners, which is why he's going to be the bridge, in my opinion. Because you cannot have him completely ignore what's going on in Manhattan. That's stupid. That makes no sense. You can't just be like, who? Daredevil? I've never heard of him. Like, he's not important. He's not in this universe. No, he is. You can't ignore him. That's something that's very important that Marvel really needs to focus on. Marvel, if you fuck up, that's your fault. That's your problem. Do not mess this up. You have a chance to bridge these characters, these fantastic characters in the Netflix universe, and bring them into the main Marvel Cinematic Universe. And just do it right. If you're going to do it right. Like, for God's sake. Because if you don't, that's just really, really stupid and such a waste. Just a waste of potential and money. Because Marvel is all about taking risks. Ant-Man, Doctor Strange. I mean, the next few years is going to be nothing but risks. If you mess this one up, then, dude, how? Just how? How do you do that? Well, regardless, guys, that's all I have to say. Go check out Daredevil Season 1 and 2. Oh my god, they're all on Netflix. They're fantastic. Subscribe, like, comment for whatever you like here, because I'm going to do it regardless. I don't care. So you psychotics, you stay crazy. You stay crazy.